In this video, we'll be talking about surds, and we can define surd as numbers that do not have exact root. For example, we can have root 2, the cube root of 10, and the fourth root of 15. These numbers do not have exact root, and if we use a calculator, we get a decimal point. Now, if we have square root of 4, we can be able to get the square root of 4, and that is 2. That means you can see 2 has no decimal point. But if we find the square root of 2, the result will be 1.414. So the answer will have a decimal. The answer will have decimal point. Now that's how do we define surd. That's all about what surd is, the overview of surd. Now, if you go to simplification of surds and you're given, for example, this number, and you're told to simplify the square root of 18, what you're going to do is we look for two numbers such that multiples of the number, that is multiples of 18, such that one should have an exact root and the other one should be a surd. Now in this case, you can see that we have 9. 9 is a multiple of 18, and we can be able to get the square root of 9 without getting a decimal point. So we will write the square root of 9 multiplied by the square root of 2. The square root of 9 is 3, and multiplied by the square root of 2, and finally we are going to have 3 root 2. Another example, if you are told to find the square root of 48, we look for two numbers which are multiples of 48, such that one should have an exact root and the other one should be a surd. Here they are going to be 16 times 3, and then square root of 16 multiplied by the square root of 3. Square root of 16 is 4 multiplied by the square root of 3, and we get 4 root 3. So you must look for a number, two numbers, one having exact root and the other one a surd. The third example, if you are told to find the square root of 72, 72 is a surd. We cannot be able to get the exact root for 72. We are going to get decimal points. Now, we look for multiples of 72 such that one should have an exact root and the other one should be a surd. Multiples of 72 are 36 and 2. So that 6 times 2 is 72. We can be able to get the exact root of that 6. So we find the square root of that 6 times the square root of 2. The square root of 36 is 6 times the square root of 2. That will give us 6 root 2. So that is how we simplify surds. In the next video, we'll be talking about operation on surds, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. How are we going to add surds? How are we going to subtract surds? How are we going to multiply surds? And then finally we'll also add rationalizing the denominator. Rationalizing the denominator